Hello and welcome to Default Assault, where we take on everything by default. And now we're celebrating our third and final day of our Christmas trilogy, where we're celebrating our top 3 favorite Christmas films and the one popular one which we just cannot understand how the hell people like it. Today we'll be featuring TJ's picks. Make sure to follow the links below for my picks and Kyle's picks. But before we get into that, Kyle, how's it going today?
Hey, it's going great, man. And for these movies, listen, maybe you've never been to Japan, but you should be honored to be loved by Tokyo. Boom.
True. Thanks for having me on. I've sat back and I've listened to you both wax very poetically about how you feel about your top 3. It's time for me to put my stank on it. So get ready.
Oh boy.
When I'm thinking about Christmas movies, and you all know from watching the show, you know I want an experience. There are certain things that I look for in my top 3. And one thing, of the top 3 you're going to get one that has the little magical whimsy or whatever. It's not, real. But then the other 2 are very much real life, show you what real cats are going through. So I'm going to go ahead and start this off. I'm going to give you a whimsy at the number 3 spot. We've talked about it before. I'm going to give you my opinion as to why it deserves to be in my top 3. And we're talking about How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey's Virgin. You've already heard Demos let you know that Jim Carrey did a phenomenal job playing the Grinch. You took a Dr. Seuss book and you made it into a live action movie. And not only did you continue to tell the story that you told in the cartoon, but you also gave me layers. I now know why the Grinch hates y'all cats. Like, I get it. This cat, being green like he was, got tired of being around all the WPS all the time, and he left. He went to live in a cave because he just didn't want to be around y'all cats. We talked about this before. We're like, Whoville is very commercial, and I'll agree with you. It is, because they're lost. They were lost, and they needed the Grinch and his unconventional ways to try and help them find what the true meaning of Christmas was. They thought they had it, with their awards and all that jazz, their lights, their bells and baubles. But just because your house is lit up like the 4th of July doesn't mean you give 2 shits about Christmas. It sucked me in because of the colors. Colors, they drive me. You give me a Tim Burton movie and I'm set for days. So, but this one, Opie Taylor did his job on this one, man. I mean, he did a phenomenal job directing, and Jim Carrey, he stole the show, man. I mean, when you look at the Grinch, when you hear, the song, "You're a Mean One," you automatically think about the cartoon. But when I think about the Grinch, I think about Jim because he owned that role. He owned it. He brought it home. And again, it's all about family and love, man. So number 3, and y'all can flame me all you want, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Holla at your boy.
Well, I hope everyone can join me in extending our thanks for your final appearance on our show. It was
yeah.
It was always nice having you on.
I'll get my goodbyes at the
end. Well, to each his own, I guess. I do agree with you on the one point, and like I said in my episode, Jim Carrey's performance is incredible. But right now, I just can't get beyond the fact that you're gonna force me to edit all those vomit-inducing clips into this episode, and I'm gonna have to suffer through it again. And I don't know if I can forgive you for that.
Folks, understand what you're witnessing here. Like, we've had deep racial conversations on this show by covering Gone with the Wind. But at the end of the day, what kills us is damn Dr. Seuss. Really?
Oh. Green Lives Matter.
I'm so not. Demos is going to have to cut this. I'm laughing too much. Oh my God. While I don't personally prefer it, I'm glad at least that the experiment was done. I'm glad to hear it from the perspective of somebody who thought it hit for them. First of all, you mentioned Opie Taylor, and I start picturing you and Demos arguing about this movie like you're an outtake of something from White Men Can't Jump. Oh, Opie pissing on me now. I mean,
For the record, I can jump real high.
Use that
real
to take
high.
a break from all the clips you have to search through. Demos, White Men Can't Jump. Woo! Hey. But listen, man, I see where you're. I definitely see it. I can definitely even see what you added into me is that the Grinch was dealing with wasps, of course. Who starting with the W, right? Mm-hmm. Who Anglo-Saxon Protestants, right? That's a fair take by you. I mean, the part I tried to watch where like they offered him a Christmas shave, that was a bridge too far for me. I'm like, what the hell is a Christmas shave all about? I don't get it. But I definitely get what they were trying for. And again, I still think the Grinch as a story hits home because we all have that one person in our lives, that one family member, friend, what have you, that just gets downright grumpy. And instead of being excited about Christmas, instead sounds more like Eddard Stark and saying winter is coming. Okay. And from that standpoint, for me, the Grinch speaks to me deeper is all.
And TJ, I may agree with you that green lives matter. But I am personally offended by Jim Carrey's portrayal in Greenface. I think that.
Got you. And you know what? You're entitled to that one, man. And I respect that. I respect that. I'll take that into consideration. I won't make any more jokes about that. See how we did that, people? He told me how he felt, and I said I won't say it anymore. See how easy that is? He doesn't like it. I'm not gonna say it. Compromise is the answer, bitches.
And to show what a nice guy I am, that despite the fact that we have this difference of opinion on this particular dumpster fire, I'm gonna send you a wonderful Christmas present. I hope you enjoy your coal. I think it will keep you warm.
Look, I knew somebody was gonna get some coal. I'll take coal over a garbage plate because coal is a dying industry, so coal is almost as good as having bitcoins now. Holla at your boy.
Nice.
For my number 2, getting out the magic, getting out the whimsy, going straight up hardcore Christmas. We've already talked about it. Get ready for it, ladies and gentlemen. A Christmas Story. That one is number 2 for me. Every year I have to watch it, mainly because TBS is going to force it down my throat, but it doesn't matter. Because I got portion control. I know when to say when. That movie for me shows, and I'll give you just a read for those of you who didn't watch that episode. That movie, it hit home for me because it's true. You have a family that they don't have all the wealth in the world. They really have to be high on love, with one another. And you have this kid who, he's always getting socks. You don't realize as a child, you really do need socks. But, that's that gift that he doesn't want. But he really wanted that gun. We've all had a gift that we wanted more than anything in the world. And he kept hearing throughout the entire film, you'll shoot your eye out. You'll shoot your eye out. And then at the end, spoiler alert, he got the gun and he almost shot his eye out. But still, it's a film. It's about family. The relationship between Ralphie and his dad, I honestly was jealous of, because while it didn't seem like the dad was very involved, when the dad looked at his son and smiled when he said, "What the fudge?" you could see the love that the father had for his son right there. And I'll be completely honest, I didn't have that. So to see that, I clenched to that. I like that. And me now, being a dad, I see all you want to do is provide for your children. And this movie just hits home for me, man. Forget the marathon. Forget oversaturation. It's just, to me, top 3 picture.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. In fact, you will be receiving a reward pretty soon. I hope you really enjoy that piece of coal from from the last one. I don't know what else I can say about A Christmas Story that we didn't say in our Christmas Story episode. It's spot on. It's a Christmas classic. It's been a bit overexposed, true, but if you adhere to TJ's wise words of portion control, I think it's up there.
I think TJ hit on something that I didn't even really feel when we did the episode last time for Christmas Story particularly, and I'm going to touch on it quickly. Everybody gets feels of some sort of nostalgic take from it, and because everybody and their experience with their family is different, that interpretation will then by extension be
different.
So it's perfectly plausible that it makes sense being on your number 2, but only being a movie that I respect. And you mentioned the fudge scene and your take there. I'm remembering the first time that I cursed in front of my father, as unintentional as it was, because I didn't even know he was in the room. And the fact he really didn't give a bleep in the long run, but had to be like, listen, you said shit, but you better watch that shit. Okay. But yeah, I'm definitely all board with the selection, though I wouldn't have done it myself. Fortunately, in my case, I get to save a lot of money on shipping because I have no need to give you coal at this point there, sir.
As I prepare to give you my universally loved, I assume it's universally loved. A lot of people talk about it. They play it every year. I want to take a breath. Will Ferrell, you're my dude. But Elf can suck a dick. I'm sorry, bro. Like I can't with that movie. My wife loves it. We don't argue, we don't fight, but we do debate at great length about the relevancy of this movie. It's too much. It's way too much. I get Tyrion Lannister, that's my dude. But he's only in it for like 10 minutes. So nah, he's his small. Nope, I'm not even gonna. I was gonna say his small part of the movie. No, it's not enough to save it. And then I thought about it. I'm sorry, PDD. Sorry, bro. No. The syrup, the with the ketchup, it's just too much. I don't even know where to start. And Zoe Des channel, I'm not sold. I don't know where all to attack this movie. And this is part of the reason why it is my hated film, because I don't even know where to start with the critique, because there's so much wrong with it. I mean, I guess if I had to be excited about anything, I guess the snowball fight was cool, I guess. It's too much. It's way too much. Even if I was on my most 420th of benders, I cannot get excited for Elf. So you get the 2 thumbs down for that one. If I had more thumbs, if I had a left hand full of thumbs, I wouldn't have enough thumbs to put down on this movie.
I haven't seen the movie, but well, let me tell you, I never understood why it was popular, and it never gained any interest. And yeah, I never understood the appeal. I find the character, even in the bit clips I've seen, to be wildly annoying. I've not seen the movie. Maybe it would change my life. I doubt it. But yeah, you saw me slow 80s clap when you let it loose. I'm going to support Demos. What do you got?
The film is loud, it's obnoxious, and it's an assault on the senses. The reason I ended up going with The Grinch over Elf is based on the less substantial role of Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
To put it in the most politically correct way. I actually didn't even watch the film for a long time, because in a similar case to what kept Kyle at bay, every single clip that I saw was of him yelling and running around and doing his Will Ferrell shtick. I ended up seeing it because a girl that I was dating at the time wanted to see it, and we watched it. And I don't have anything personally against Will Ferrell. I think he's talented. I like him best when he's in a supporting role. I think the only film that he starred in that I actually do really like was Stranger Than Fiction, but he wasn't playing his usual shtick. And with this film, it's his shtick on overdrive. It's like he saw a Christmas tree full of candy canes, and he decided to down all of them in one sitting and then act.
And then find out that they were laced in meth.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier in our last episode, the Home Alone, we don't think that, it might not be as big of a thing in 20 years down the line. I would wage my bets that Home Alone has a better chance of still being a thing over Elf. By
God,
far.
You know what? I hope so. I'll take Macaulay Culkin over Will Ferrell and Elf. Yeah, all day.
And for the record, like, you hear my disdain towards this concept. The only reason why it wasn't my pick is because I haven't seen the film. Just my impression of it even makes me say, I'll take over. Okay, so
I'm going to introduce my number one by saying this. I want him brought right here. A big ribbon on his head. And I want to look him in the eye. And I want to tell him that he's a cheap, I'm not going to go through the whole monologue, but trust and believe, Christmas Vacation, that monologue at the end is probably one of the most real monologues ever. But I didn't see Christmas Vacation until 5 years ago. My wife insisted that we watch it. And once we watched it, I fell in love with it. There's so much about this movie because I always tell y'all, again, we're talking about it's about family. And this dad wants to provide his family with the best freaking experience ever. He recalled, and he has that nostalgic moment that we talked about a couple days ago. He was looking back on his own experiences as a pup and how his dad made him feel, and he just wanted to pay it forward to his family and keep that tradition going. Christmas Vacation holds weight because how can you not identify? And he has that relative that he really, really doesn't care for, but he shows up. And if you ever want to hear a conversation between a child and an adult that makes you laugh, watch that movie and listen to the daughter explain why she's so glad that they're spending Christmas with the family, where she can now go to the bathroom and she's not standing in water. Christmas Vacation, hands down to me, the best Christmas movie. Holla at your boy. Hallelujah. Holy shit. Where's the Tylenol?
Like I said before, the best thing about the original, at least the original three vacation films, was seeing Chevy Chase's slow burn and then eventual explosion, because you could identify with it. The one film that didn't do it, European Vacation, and it suffered for it. They made him a fool. And he's still a fool, but he's a relatable fool. We've all been there. We can all see ourselves, going crazy, trying to plan something perfect. And he doesn't do it for himself. He does it for his family. And there's a beautiful quality to that.
Yeah, he wants the best damn Christmas since Fred Astaire dance with Danny K. Okay? But, hey, it's my turn to get the beep, all right? I feel like I've been behind schedule in the past episodes here, but the punchline is this. Listen, guys, you all are hitting a bunch of big points, but let me be clear. Let me be the movie critic in the room. No offense, Demos, but my dad and I over the years, even since back when I first saw this film, which, by the way, listen, since your wife was the one that showed you that film there, TJ, I got to tell you for a fact that I'm looking you in the face on the video as I see you. I mean this as a heart. Listen, the best you could give her in return is some Jingle Bell Rock. I'm just throwing it out. The punchline being here, that movie stands up end to end as a fan-bloody-tastic comedy. When he's going around the house with the chainsaw and cuts the banister off the top thing, the way that you can hear it going, thum, 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 thum.
Fix the newel post!
My dad and I have broken down that scene about why that works exactly. It's a mundane scene. It's a mundane detail, and it's still goddamn hilarious. That, my friends, I mean, all this other Christmas stuff that you guys nailed is part of it, but even down to that infinitesimal pin drop level.
What's the details? If you were to cut something like that off your own banister, you get satisfaction hearing it thud down the stairs.
And it doesn't just thud, it's the boom, 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 boom.
I dare anybody to watch this film and not be able to find a bit of themselves in the movie.
To speak on a bigger part about the Vacation series, if the weak links in your chain are Vegas Vacation and European Vacation, you know what? I'd still use that chain in a case where I had to save my life if I had to be pulled up from the cliff. I'm throwing it out there.
I can't argue with that unless you were to include the new reboot, or whatever the hell it was.
Stop.
Yeah,
Wait.
exactly.
Folks, this dojo does not know of such a film, just like it does not know of a fourth Indiana Jones film.
I heard it's coming out in 2020, right?
Carry on.
Yeah. So that about does it for our trilogy of top Christmas films. Hope you all enjoyed it, and thank you, TJ, for joining us yet again. And what are your favorite Christmas films? What are your top 3? What is the one Christmas film that everybody loves that you just can't understand? Why do people even tolerate this existence? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to follow me on Twitter at Default Hilarity, Facebook Hilarity by Default, and hilaritybydefault.com for weekly movie reviews and other fun stuff.
And I am Kyle Nash, the student of the game. You can find me on Twitter at the SOTG, and of course on Facebook as the student of the game. Listen, for all your Christmas magic, I wish you higgitus figgitus motherfucker. Carry on.
As always, you can follow me on Twitter and Snapchat at Tokeo J. That's TOKEOJ. And as this is Christmas Eve, if you're consenting and an adult, you can get my dick in the box. Holla at your boy.
We do not have an open marketplace on hilaritybydefault.com, just FYI, but I'm sure that if you're to contact TJ, he can make some personal arrangements.
That's a cornerstone of your Christmas breakfast right there, people.
Well, with
good.
that being said, Jesus Christ, what are you going to do with the coal I send you? Anyway, with that being said, Merry Christmas, and remember that life, especially during the holidays, is hilarious by default.